More than one of you now have sent me this image here and asking me, do these signs have any legal standing? What do they really mean? And do you have to obey them? Well, as it suggests on this sign here, I think it's just an advisory speed limit. I cannot find anything in law that says a green bordered speed limit sign is enforceable. It has to be a red circular order to be an enforceable limit. So I've done a little bit of research into this, and they seem to be popping up in various places, predominantly around schools and areas like that, to try to calm down the traffic and to slow down the traffic to make it safer, which is never a bad thing. But in doing some research on it, I also came across this here, which was a Freedom of Information request made to West Northamptonshire Council. This letter, if you haven't come across this website so far, it's reasonably good. People do tend to respond to these things on what do they know. This request here said, please provide me with information regarding the installation and purpose of speed limit signs found on Station Road and High Street, West Haddon, feature a 20-mile-an-hour speed restriction with a green circular border in place of a mandatory red border. And then they pose various questions. They say, 1, whether these are approved signs in the diagram provided by the Department of Transport. 2, the purpose of the signs. 3, who authorised the installation of the signs onto street furniture, the cost of the installation, and how it was funded. Now, if we skip to the response here, this response is quite interesting. It says, thanks for the email and the request and so on. It says, in response to whether they're approved, it says, West Northamptonshire Council did not install these signs. They were installed by the Parish Council. For further information, direct your request here. The purpose of the signs, unknown. Well, I think it's quite clear what the purpose is, but I think they could have made a guess, but maybe they didn't want to take a guess, but by the by. Question 3, who authorised the installation of these signs onto street furniture? No application has been received by West Northamptonshire Council requesting permission to install the signs. Now, that's not necessarily to say that they're unlawful. It's just that the Parish Council have decided to put them up. After all, it said here, West Haddon Parish Council put the signs up, but no actual application has been received. Now, that's a significant point because for a sign to be enforceable, there has to be an order made. And without boring you with the law, I know that's what I tend to do on this channel, but without boring you with all of the law, when there's a new sign going up that needs to be mandatory or new lines going on the road that need to be mandatory and enforceable, there needs to be all sorts of paperwork done and an order made that these, whatever they are, signs, lines, whatever, are then enforceable and in force when they are produced. This didn't seem to happen in the case of this one that they're talking about here. It said no application has been received by West Northamptonshire Council requesting permission to install the signs. So they're effectively there without permission and unenforceable. That's not to say you shouldn't comply with them. If there's a reason for them to be there and to slow down and be safe, then please be safe. I mean, use your common sense. But if there's a sign a little bit further up that says it's 30 and then one after it that says it's 30 in a red border and this one is in between, this is advisory. So if you do get police pulling you over, trying to ticket you for going at 22 in this advisory 20 zone, I'd be taking issue with that, quite frankly, from a legal standpoint. Question 4, the total cost of the installation, unknown, and how is it funded, unknown. And it says you may reuse the information with open source government, etc., etc. So these are, from what I can make out, just advisory signs in a green circle. Now, I haven't read chapter and verse on this, and I couldn't really find very much, to be quite honest. So what I seem to think is that this is an advisory sign. Perhaps Ashley Neal might have some ideas. I will tag you in the description to this video. Maybe you've come across it. Maybe you've already done something and I've just not found it yet. As I say, I haven't spent a great deal of time looking at it. But from what I can see, these are advisory. And if you want to be absolutely sure, do what this person here did, write with a Freedom of Information request and say, did you have an application? Have these been put up with permission? Is there any order backing up these signs and so on, and can you confirm whether they're advisory, etc. But they do seem to be popping up all over the place. So if you see them around, that's probably what they're there for, just to try to calm down the traffic. But if you want to check and actually know whether they're enforceable or not, you would need to check with the local authority. But the chances are they are just advisory and there's no permission for them to be there. So I hope that helps. Do make sure you like the video and subscribe. Ashley, if you do see this, hi, and let me know if you've got any thoughts on that. And I'll see you all next time.